Cool, if you work at a desk, you want to train these muscle groups as if you're a bodybuilder. First muscle group being the core. Now, when I say core, I'm not going to be talking about the core as a whole. I mean, just look at that list of muscle groups. I'm going to be talking specifically about your rectus abdominis or your abs, and their main job is to flex the spine. Obliques, and their main job is to rotate the torso, and they also flex your spine laterally, or more simply, bend your torso from side to side. And you've also got your transversus abdominis. One of its main jobs is to sort of tuck your belly in or suck your belly in as if someone's about to punch your stomach. So that's your transversus abdominis working. And these three muscles also work together to stabilize your torso and stabilize your spine as a whole. Now, the problem with these muscle groups when you're sitting around all day is that they do get weakened. So when you're standing up or when you're lifting up heavy objects, or even when you're doing heavy compound exercises in the gym, your lower back will start having to take the brunt of the work in supporting your spine and supporting your torso, which can put it under a lot of strain and be a contributing factor to lower back pain. If you want to get around this, you want to strengthen these three muscle groups. Firstly, your rectus abdominis or your abs. Like we said, their main job is to flex the spine. And this can either be achieved by bringing your chest towards your pelvis or bringing your pelvis towards your chest in exercises such as decline sit-ups, crunches, weighted crunches, cable crunches, leg raises. You can do these exercises for sets of anywhere from 8 to 15. It depends on the exercise that you're doing, and just progressively overload over time. So adding reps, adding sets, adding weight. If you do want to see more detailed progression schemes for ab training, check out my abs explained video. For your obliques, you could do twisting motions such as Russian twist. Again, you can hold a weight to make the exercise more challenging. You can also do standing side bends while holding a plate in one hand. So whichever hand the plate is in, you're going to bend your torso towards the opposite side. And you're going to switch sides and do the same number of reps for each side. 12 to 15 reps are good for this exercise. Then finally, for your transversus abdominis, again, it contributes to overall stability. And we said that its main job is to, or one of its main jobs, sorry, is to sort of suck your torso in. And a great exercise to train this is actually a basic plank. Now, planks can be boring. If you do want to make it more challenging, you can add weight on your back. Or if you do want to make it even more challenging, you can move your elbows in front of your shoulders, and this turns it into a long lever plank to make it more challenging. Again, hold it for sets of, for example, 30 to 60 seconds. And if you can do multiple sets of 30 to 60 seconds, you can consider adding weight or using a more challenging variation for this. This doesn't just work your transversus abdominis, it also does work your abs and your obliques as well. So it's a good overall core builder. So the second muscle group we have is your trapezius, otherwise known as your traps, and they're located in your upper back. Their main jobs include lifting your shoulders, lowering your shoulders, retracting your scapula or squeezing your shoulder blades together. And they do also contribute to stabilizing the upper portion of your back, the upper portion of your spine. Now, when you're working in an office job, it's highly likely that you're going to be sitting at a desk, staring slightly downwards at your laptop. Your neck is also going to be slightly forward as well. And these factors can contribute to your traps being stretched throughout the day and potentially weakened, which can be a contributing factor to having that sort of hunched forward kyphotic posture, having pain in your upper back and in your neck as well, which is a common complaint for office workers. This is exacerbated by the fact that most people who train in the gym start to emphasize the pushing muscles or the show muscles at the front, so your chest and front delts, while neglecting the posterior. Good exercises to counteract this: pull, 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 pull. So you want to be doing, for example, pendlay rows. These are great for the upper back. Freestanding barbell rows. These are also a great exercise. Inverted rows, you get the picture. Even vertical pulls of some type. So wide grip like pull downs or even wide grip pull-ups. With these, you just want to make sure you emphasize squeezing your shoulder blades together and pausing at the top to get a solid contraction in your mid traps. If you do want to see this exercise in more detail, you can check out my calisthenics pull workout. Just a quick side note, if you really want to emphasize your upper back or particularly your traps on these horizontal pulling movements, it helps to adopt a wide grip. So gripping 1.5 to 2 times shoulder width and really emphasizing the squeeze of your shoulder blades at the top and emphasizing the stretch at the bottom of the movement and allowing your shoulders to protract slightly at the bottom of these movements. 3, you've got your posterior deltoids, otherwise known as the rear delts. Some of their main functions include shoulder extension or moving your upper arm from the front of your body towards your torso. Another function is horizontal abduction or rotating your upper arm from the front of your body towards the side of your body. And your rear delts also do contribute to stabilizing your shoulder joint in your day-to-day activities and even in pushing movements in the gym. Motivation for training these: is similar to the motivation for training your traps. Because when you're sitting at your desk, your shoulders or your upper body can adopt that hunched forward posture, so they can potentially get stretched and weakened as well. Training your rear delts is good for overall shoulder health in general. Good exercises for targeting your rear delts. One of them is face pulls. This is a really good exercise, not just for your rear delts, but also for your rotator cuffs as well. Good for overall shoulder health. And imagine you're trying to pull the rope or rip the rope apart, and when you finish, imagine you're trying to get into a front double bicep pose, as if you're trying to show off your biceps to people. And these are good for 12 to 15 or 15 to 20 reps. A bonus of this exercise is that your traps will get lit up as well, so it's a win-win. However, sometimes you do want to give your rear delts that individual time. A good exercise for that is skiers. Because of the alignment of your rear delts, they can be quite awkward to activate, and they'd be quite awkward to isolate without incorporating your traps or your lats as well. So skiers are quite good for that. With these, you're going to set up on a bench, and you're going to start with the dumbbells in a neutral grip, and then you're going to move the dumbbells back and out ever so slightly, and you want to finish the rep with your upper arms at a 45-degree angle to your torso. You don't want to have your arms too close to your torso, otherwise you turn it into a very mediocre lat exercise, or an easy lat exercise essentially. If you want to see more on rear delt training, be sure to check out my shoulders explained video. And the fourth and final muscle group I'm going to be talking about is the glutes. So your glutes are actually technically part of your core, so they're quite an important muscle group to strengthen. They play a key role in hip extension, or moving your torso from a bent forward position to an upright position. They also help you absorb impact when you're walking or when you're running as well. They also provide stabilization for your pelvis and your hip joint, also externally rotating your hips. There's more to training your glutes than just having nice Instagram pictures. Obviously, when you're sitting down in a chair all day, it can have implications for making your glutes weaker. It can be a contributing factor to, for example, hip pain, having trouble balancing, or even something as basic as standing up without a support. So how do you strengthen your glutes? Well, you can strengthen your glute maximus, which is one of the biggest muscle groups on your body, through big compound movements such as deadlifts or Romanian deadlifts, and they have a lot of strength potential, so be sure to apply a steady method of progressive overload. Now, if you do have trouble feeling your glutes on these exercises, a good tip to think about is, instead of thinking about bending forward and standing back up again, think about moving your hips away from the bar, then driving your hips towards the bar or towards the dumbbells. Lunges are also great for training your glutes, not just your glute maximus. It's also a great exercise for training your glute medius as well. Glute medius is responsible for stabilizing you when you're off balance. Having a weak glute medius is a factor that can contribute to hip pain. And yeah, having a strong glute medius does help with overall balance and stability, not just when you're exercising, but also in your day-to-day activities as well. Do your lunges. Bulgarian split squats, step ups, walking lunges, reverse lunges. Now that concludes the video. Hope you found that useful. I do have a playlist, and I am making a series on office-oriented fitness. Be sure to check out my other videos in my playlist. This is my office-oriented fitness playlist. Make sure to like, subscribe, share this with your people. In a bit.